Thanks for tuning into the channel today. I'm just going to go over some introductory resources for learning Latin, as I'm working on Latin to be able to translate Thomas Bradwardine's De Causa Dei. This is Lingua Latina per se illustrata, Familia Romana. This is written by Orberg, and this is a companion to the Familia Romana. And if you read Orberg's, I highly recommend it. It's just going to be, everything is in Latin. There's no English at all in this. And it's amazing how you can just learn the language through reading this. Everything is taught in Latin. For me, I'm a little bit dumb, so I really needed a companion because sometimes I had a hard time really understanding what Orberg was pointing out and what specific point he was trying to teach just in Latin. So the companion has been very helpful for saying, okay, this is what Orberg's trying to do. He's trying to show you how these relative pronouns work. He's trying to show you specifically how this verb conjugates or whatever. So this is that invaluable resource. This is where I would start. This is kind of like gold for learning Latin. And so get this. You'll be surprised how fast you progress. Then, there's some charts online that are very helpful. Going through your declensions of nouns, going through the different conjugations of verbs and pronouns. So I recommend getting you some charts and learning those. I wouldn't start here. I would just start by reading, and as you read, then you can refer to the charts as you kind of encounter new sentences, new concepts. Make your own charts. So, this is just an example of, these active, imperative, and indicative nouns as they move from singular to plural, kind of how those end, some different irregular verbs. Just some examples of tables you may make early on as you think about moving different nouns from genitive, accusative, ablative in feminine, masculine, neuter, and their different endings. So you can see Latin's a complex language. As you start early on, you're going to make these charts maybe of different verbs and nouns, and just kind of grow as you do that. Write out sentences, parse them out. That's something I will do, just kind of parse out sentences. I just have a ton of notes here on Latin, just hundreds of pages of notes. As I go through this, there's exercise books that you have with Latin. You can use those. And, you can get you some little short novels here in Latin. These are pretty cool. Just simple sentences, simple grammatical concepts. There's some other books you can try out. This is Latin for Americans. Kind of a 3-year type deal here. It's a pretty good series. The Cambridge and Oxford courses are also very good. So those are just some basic introductory resources I recommend. Be patient, do it every day. You'll be surprised how much you learn. Thanks for watching.